All right, good morning, everyone. It is Monday, July 19th, 2021, and we're going to get started here with our pre-market analysis in just a few moments. I do want to point out here, I'm go ahead and blow up this 1-minute chart, how well these important levels have been working just overnight in this Globex session. Now, most of these lines have been drawn probably 2 or 3 weeks earlier. And it's just amazing to see that, first of all, right out of the open yesterday in the Sunday Globex session, we came right into 1950, broke it by a point, and then continued to sell off, and then found some amazing support. And I'm talking to the tick off of these levels. This level was up on here since July 5th. Came right into that level, pushed right into '06. I think we broke it by a point and a quarter. And then continued to sell off, came down right into our 83 quarter level. And then finally right now, we're finding some pretty good support at 64.75, which not only was an important level, but if you remember back to last week, we talked about this level being the first 38% retracement of the whole push up. So I think this is actually from the previous leg, but still a very important level there, lining up here with just about that previous high that we made back on June 15th. One other quick thing to point out is that on the morning of July 14th, we came up and we made this double top, and we said that we had a lot more bearish indications for the day than we did have any type of bullish indications, and so we expected a somewhat of a bearish bias going into that morning. And ever since July 14th, we have sold off now almost 100 points. So we pretty much called the turn in the market there and are now in the grips of this correction. As far as how far they're going to sell this thing off, this will be a very important level here, right around 58 to 64, being that previous 38% retracement, being the important level, being right off of the highs of June 15th. This is going to be important for the bulls to defend. Otherwise, we could see some continued sell-off here. So let's go ahead and jump to our ultra-high time frames and see what they're looking like now that we have this correction in play right now. Here's the 3-month still looking very strong, and no indications of exhaustion. Of course, you can see we're now pulling back, getting a pretty big wick up top here, but we see this candle does actually close in August of 2021. So getting closer to the end of this candle, but still has a lot of time to develop here. There's no indications of exhaustion there. No indications of exhaustion on the monthly. Of course, there is a very bearish looking case for the candlestick right now. So both the quarterly and the monthly do have that going on right there, but no indications of exhaustion from an RVI perspective. And then our weekly, same deal, not necessarily a strong argument for a sell-off from up here, but we did see it as we dialed down from the daily and below, again on July 14th there when we pushed up to that close to the all-time high. So right now, no indications from a divergence perspective as to what could be happening here. You could kind of make an argument that we have pushed a little bit lower on the RVI, and we've pushed to a higher low on the price. So there could potentially be a little bit of a divergence setting up right now. But we do have 5 days for this candle to develop, so don't want to say too much about that right now. On our daily, we had, again, there's that bearish indication we talked about on July 14th when we made that essentially a double top up there around 43.84, 43.83. And here's the sell-off, subsequent sell-off. And right now, really no clear divergent indications. We just have this very clear bearish looking case from a candlestick perspective. So right now, I wish there was more to be said off the lows right now, but I'm not getting any clear indications here. On our 4-hour, just got dialing back to that July 14th bearish case. Again, we had that double top with clear divergence, and then that led to this continued sell-off now. And on the 4-hour, same situation. There really are no clear indications from a divergence perspective. We did have the bearish case off of that candle that closed at 7 a.m. Pacific on Friday. And ever since that candle closed on Friday, when we got the bearish indication, we've had, this continued sell-off. So right now, I don't really have any clear indications of a direction outside of the obvious fact that everything looks very, very bearish right now. Let's go to our 60-minute, and this is the first time frame that really gives a clear indication off the current lows. And as of right now, we have to keep in mind that the current candle has another 45 minutes to develop and actually close. But at the moment, we do have a potential bullish indication off of the overnight low. Again, coincidentally, right off that 64.75 level that's been on the charts since, I think I said, June 25th. And if we look at that previous leg, it was the 38% retracement like we were talking about earlier. But we do have to kind of redraw this now that we've pushed up a little bit further. And you can see that 50% of the entire leg, if we draw it to the all-time high now, is bringing us right into test that high from June 15th back here. Let me get the actual number on that. I believe it's 58.25. So right around, 50% of this push up is around 55.50. 58.25 would be that high from June 15th. So this is going to be an important level down here for the bulls to defend here. So just to kind of reiterate the high time frames, no indications of exhaustion on any of the ultra high time frames. When we get to the weekly, there is somewhat of an argument, although we have a lot of time for this candle to develop, so I don't want to put much weight on this, but somewhat of an argument of a bullish divergence right now. We would have to stay above the low here at 41.2675. So let me go ahead and mark that on the chart. I will 41.2675. That is the low where the divergence could potentially hold from. So we'll keep that in mind throughout the week here. And then our daily and our 4-hour did not really have any clear indications for us to help our bias this morning, outside of the fact that both of them have the bearish indication from the all-time high, and then on the 4-hour from the high we made on Friday. And then the 60-minute basically is giving us the potential of some bullishness here right around 42.6475. So let's go down to our intermediate time frames. They should help give us a clearer picture off of the current lows. And right now, still getting a buildup of bullish indications. Just keep in mind that as we sell off here, we have gotten a lot of bullish indications off the lows that do lead to some type of shallow correction or bounce, but nothing too big right now. We don't necessarily, if we had a nice clear 4-hour and daily bullish indication off the lows, that would give me more confidence that we're actually going to get a larger type of bounce off of the current level. But we just don't see that. What we do see is the 60-minute giving us potential bullish indications, but remember, there's 45 minutes left. That could continue to sell off, and that signal might not be there anymore. On our 30-minute here, really no signs of bounce either, despite being at an important level here. Our 30-minute is not giving us a strong bullish signal at the moment. This candle is going to close in about 15 minutes, and it could potentially have a situation where it did push down by a tick or two, and the RVI could be pushing up just by a tick or two. So we might start to see a potential bullish indication here on the 30-minute. So we got to keep that in mind. The 60-minute and the 30-minute are showing some potential bullish indications down here. Same thing, the 10-minute actually has a confirmed bullish case. So we're going to have to watch these lows. This overnight low is going to be important here. If they can hold the overnight low, which let me get the actual value here, I believe is 62.50. If we can hold 62.50, then we will have a 60-minute, 30-minute, and 10-minute bullish indication, which could lead to a bounce. Again, how far is it actually going to follow through? Really hard to say right now, considering the context of what's happening in the market. But if they do bounce from here, we have some great levels up above that we can look for clear signals for trades. And we'll just look at the 3-minute really quickly here, just to see what it's saying off those lows as well. So let's bring the 30-minute up here, and 3-minute, and the 3-minute is also showing some bullish instances as we continue to test the lows here from the overnight session. So that's where we're at right now. We're going to want to watch, again, if you zoom out and look at the larger picture, we're going to want to watch those highs from June 15th back here, which line up essentially with the 50% retracement of now this entire leg from the June 20th low to the all-time high. If they continue following through lower, we do have the 61.8 lining up exactly with the highs we made here back on June 17th, and then a retest of that around June 22nd. That really has not been cleanly tested, and it would bring us right to that prediction point at 23.25. So we do have that below us, and then above us we have some decent levels and some decent price action to kind of parry off of. So we will watch that as the day develops here.